Sticking with electric vehicles, last story on the topic. It's just I couldn't avoid this one because this one's it sparked me a little bit. It got my attention for a number of reasons. First off, this company VanMoof, they have this really nice looking electric bike, a very minimal, simple looking electric vehicle. I think that's going to be that style is going to be the one to break through because it appeals to the widest variety of people, and it doesn't really look like an electric bike at all. It looks like a regular bike. It's a bit fatter in the center there, but it looks a lot like a regular bike, so you don't have to be offending anyone. Will you ride around? They think they think you're pedaling with your own manpower. Mm-hmm. Meantime, you're cruising.
It's a giant battery.
There's a battery hidden in there, and so anyway, that's a big part of this company: the design, the aesthetic, and the minimal nature of it. Well, they've got some problems right now, which aren't even problems. Because it's drawing more attention to the brand. Here you got us talking about it, and we're on the internet, and a couple of people are watching. Nevertheless, they've got this issue where a big market for them in France, they put out this new commercial, and the commercial was not accepted by the regulatory body in France that determines whether or not a commercial can happen or not. And maybe you want to play just a little bit of the commercial here. Time to Ride the Future is the name of the commercial, and I'll just describe it for you. You have what looks like a very high-performance vehicle, and this video is sort of panning around the outside of the vehicle, and in the reflections of the vehicle, you see commotion and traffic jams, and you see the exhaust fumes from vehicles, and then the automobile melts into this minimalistic bike that they want you to buy. It says, ride into the future, get your act together. What are you doing sitting in traffic? Okay, you watch the commercial. Well, first of all, before I continue here, Will, you just watched the commercial. You saw enough of it to catch an idea. Are you offended? What do you think happened there? How are you feeling? Are you feeling anxious? Do you want a bike? What's going on?
Well, in the reflections of the car,
yes,
is there like chaos or something?
There's chaos. There's some chaos in there. Well, it's crowds. I wouldn't say it's chaos. There's crowds. They're reaching. It looks like commotion.
Mm-hmm. No, I wouldn't be offended.
You're okay with it?
Yeah.
Well, the regulatory body ARPP says that it discredits the automobile sector while creating a climate of anxiety. That's the official line on it. I wouldn't say they're necessarily wrong about that. There is a kind of anxious feeling inside of the thing. And yeah, of course, it's discrediting the automobile sector. That's what they're attempting to replace. Mm-hmm. They're telling you to get rid of your car and get an electric bike. But what else should they be telling you? Yeah. It seems kind of what you would do if you had a company like this. There's another statement here from a representative that says you should not fall into the ease of bashing when you just have to promote your product. So I guess I kind of feel that. It could have been a more optimistic approach. Maybe the coexistence of the automobile and the electric bike. But when you want, 2,000 euros for an electric bike, you're going to need to convince some people to give up their car for that kind of money, or to presume that this is a substitute for that mode of transportation. Look, I'm going to get down to the brass tacks here, Will. The automobile sector is getting fired at from all sides. It's in some pretty rough shape right now, and particularly in France as well, which is where this advertisement was set to take place. They're looking for bailouts. They're looking for government money. They're looking for help. And if you're a government agency, you're sitting here thinking, wait, right now, this automobile sector, which employs this vast amount of citizens that are eventually going to vote for me at some point and don't want to lose their job, if there's an advertisement that's taking such a direct shot at that industry at the same time that I'm trying to figure out a way to bail them out to keep these jobs, I'm really going to consider what I'm approving here. Now, for the record, I'm just showing you the other side. I'm not suggesting that I agree with it. I'm just showing you the other side. I think, hey, man, the ad should be able to take place. It's not like it's showcasing violence. It's not, sure, maybe there's an anxiousness about it, but that falls within your typical type of expression for me. I think it's actually kind of cool. The car melts away. It's still up to the individual to interpret what they want to take from it, but it's all very straightforward the way I watch it. You want to sell me an expensive electric bike. Your pitch is that I'm going to replace my car and that my car is problematic and here's the reasons it's problematic. Are they lying? No, it's not a lie. It's gridlock. You're trapped in traffic. That's real. You're using oil and gas. That's real too. They didn't go so far as to necessarily call you evil for doing so. It's artistic enough that I think it's okay. But like I said previously, it doesn't even really matter because now here we are talking about it because they banned it. Had they just shown the commercial in the first place, this company probably would have got less attention nonetheless. So it puts it in it's a funny thing about the internet. You try to suppress a signal, the signal gets louder. And we see this happening over and over again. And now more people know about this cool electric bike. I think the future is some combination. It's never black and white. It's always some shade of gray. There's nuance to it. It's possible you own some efficient vehicle that you drive as well as the bike. You use the bike sometimes. You use the car for other endeavors. You can't fit a fridge in the back of a electric bike.
No.
Or let alone most cars you would drive in France.
Yeah.
But certainly in an F-150, you can lug some stuff around, and I love it. I love the versatility of being able to do so. Does it mean that you should be driving it for all circumstances around town? Should you be taking it down the street to the mailbox?
No.
No, you probably shouldn't.
No.
So, yeah, I agree. You could do a slightly more optimistic version, and maybe they have. But the point of this particular piece of art is to make an impact. I believe it's done so. And they're going to sell a few bikes. Oh, by the way, their bike sales are way up.
So they're doing well.
Yeah, they're doing well. What can I say here? In May, the company said its first quarter sales were up dramatically compared to the same period last year, increasing in all of its main markets, including Germany up 226%, the UK up 184%, Netherlands 140%, US 138%, and France 92%. Now, apparently this uptake was driven partially by discounts on the S3 and X3 bikes, but nonetheless, well, look at this. People are looking not just for the environmental component, but for the cost savings. The vehicle can be expensive, and people are sensitive right now.
Yeah,
as you would be with the uncertainty in the world.